So now the first thing data collection. Then I open, let's say I use spreadsheet. So I open a new spreadsheet, right? I will input the review here. Okay. So that's the first step for data collection. Right? Easy as that. If you need more review, you just scroll down and say, that's the manual work. That at least it works. And you can try different tools and different extension. I will share with you a Python script to scrap the review, but I cannot guarantee it work all the time. So maybe 2 months later, 3 months later, you go back, you work for a company, you go intern and you say, oh, actually I can do sentiment analysis for you, you know? And suddenly it doesn't work. So at least you can still copy and paste manually, okay? Yeah, so this is the review, okay. So when you have the data, what would we do next? Remember on BA, what would we do next? Clean the data, okay. So for sentiment, how can you clean it? So let's keep it simple. For sentiment analysis, it's most important about the length, how long it is. But the length here is subjective. If you do sentiment analysis on YouTube video, the length usually shouldn't be too short. But if you do sentiment analysis on TikTok, the limit should be lower. Why? Because people comment on TikTok using their phone, and you don't like typing a lot on your phone. But most of the people who watch YouTube gonna be on their computer, so they are willing to type a lot of things. Okay? That also address your concern on the review of Amazon and Shopee, because Shopee is mobile driven, and you don't write a lot of things on your phone. But most of the users for Amazon are computer, so they write. Let me share with you next time. The whole essay about any products is a nightmare, but it's a very good one for you to keep track. Okay. So a general rule for a YouTube video is that you exclude any comment that are too short, because when it's too short, there's no sentiment at all. And you can ignore the comment that are too long. Why? Because not a lot of people are willing to write something that long. So they just copy and paste some random gibberish on the internet to put in the comment. Or they just, it is the spam somehow. So this threshold, you can optimize by yourself depending on the video. So let's say, how can we do that? So here, right, I create a new column, I call it length, okay? And we use a simple formula that is length. And I apply for the whole range, okay? And now, what would I do? I just do the filter. This is very manual, right? But it's work. It doesn't matter as long as it's work for you. And if you want to do an advanced way, then you can get any engineer to do it for you. But at least you can do it yourself. So now I got the length here. I'm gonna filter the value that is below 50, for example. Yeah, I just delete everything. Then I try to remove everything greater than 500. Yeah, so let's see what is the 500 review to see it will remove or not. It did? Yeah, it's started. You can check it because this is your own threshold. You can decide that you remove or not remove the review. So let's say, okay, this is okay, right? It still sounds okay. So just keep it there. This one. Wow, too long. This one, let's check if anything is spam. It's still okay, right? So you can keep or you remove it, depend on you. This is just a generic recommendation because you can remove the very long and meaningful whatever. So I think it's still okay. So I just keep all of them. Okay. And then what would be the challenge when we try to analyze and understand the text here? What is the biggest issue with all the comment and feedback or review on the internet? The grammar, the abbreviation, the icon, the emoji. So how can we fix that? Manually? Probably you don't have enough time to fix all of that, right?
Use AI.
It depends. Yes, AI. For example, right? Can you understand this? Yes? Easy, right? Can you understand this?
Yes.
But if you get the machine to understand that, it's very hard to do. Or if you remember tokenization, you need to break down into the smaller word, and you break it down to T and K. What does it mean? It got no meaning at all. So now there's doing the progress of doing data cleaning. You need to fix on the abbreviation here. You need to fix on the mix up Vietnamese, English. You need to mix on the fix on the grammar issue. Okay. The typo. How to do that fast and efficient? Yes, of course you can do AI for that. That's the other thing. But let's see. Right now, sometimes if you say, oh, actually Vietnamese is very hard to analyze, so maybe I got an idea. If I can translate it to English, so it could be easier and your friend can understand, right? How can you do the translation?
AI.
Why AI do anything? Okay, AI gonna come a little bit. But let's say if there's no AI, there's something for you to do right at the Google Translate. And then you copy here and you paste to Google and you copy the result and you paste back here, right? No, it takes forever. How long it takes for you to get 1,000 reviews? A whole day. It doesn't make sense. But good thing is that Google got the formula to do translation directly here. Okay. So now you can do the translation directly on spreadsheet.
Wow.
So this is the version. Okay, at least your friend can understand. Or maybe in your company, your boss is a foreigner, an expat. So if you do the analysis in Vietnamese, they don't understand anything. So you need to do the translation somehow. Okay. So now there's a formula on spreadsheet that called Google Translate. Yeah. And now you can just apply on the cell here. The short language is Vietnam with EVI. And then you translate to English, that EN. Okay? And you just enter. And now we're gonna do the translation.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. And I would say Google Translate is very good nowadays. I mean, it cannot translate 100%, but on the abbreviation, on the tone, on the information, it's pretty much okay. Okay, so you don't need to worry about that. But what if you want to correct the Vietnamese only, but not the translation? If you really want to save time and effort, because we are lazy, right? Because we are smart, but we are lazy. So you can translate to English and then you translate back to Vietnamese. So it's somehow close to doing not 100%, but there's no problem around grammar, about word use anyway. So that's a weak hack for you. Okay. Now, you see, right? On the abbreviation right here, it can understand quite well. Okay, I don't know this lady. I don't know tôi or tao không biết bà này. I don't know this lady. The translation worked very well, I would say, and reserve the most of the meaning. Okay, you see, if you translate it manually to English, this is a wrong one. This is a wrong spelling. So if you translate it manually, I must say this is lychee good, because this is the wrong keyword, right? This is wrong. This is a typo. but then it can translate. It's really good. Okay, so that's some good thing. Okay, so now this gonna be the good data for you to perform sentiment analysis. So you can go back to the 5 step, right? Tokenization, lemmatization, remove, extract keyword. No, we don't do that. Because we are marketer. We don't have time to do that. And how can you do that? Okay, can you do it one by one? No. Can you code? No either. So it doesn't make sense for you to do that as a marketer. So we try to do it in a better way, a smarter way. Okay? That's where we continue using AI. Okay, AI gonna help you to do that. But before we get AI to do, we need to know a little bit about sentiment analysis. So when we talk about sentiment, what do you think about the outcome? What would be the outcome of the sentiment analysis? We do it for fun. What would be the expectation on the outcome?
From all the comments, what would you get? The
Mhm.
positive attitude or negative one?
Yeah.
So what's that product that you have established on the social media?
Yeah. Anything else?
I think student can have us like plan for the next content or the next step in
Yeah.
the strategy. So maybe interview will have some pilot phase. So
Mhm.
after that we can use this to
Yeah. So actually you can refer to the 5 things I shared with you, right? When you do the sentiment analysis, you don't just do it for fun, right? But then you want to know what would be the entity, what are the keywords or the topic people talk about, the sentiment, they like it or they don't like it, okay? And what would be the action? So in order to do that, we just need to do a few things. Actually, it will be more complex, but then I try to simplify for you, right? So for sentiment analysis, the first thing is that you want to see that the overall sentiment is positive, negative, or neutral. But I would say it's very hard for anyone to have a neutral value. The neutral usually just coming from 2 scenarios. The first one is don't care. And the second one is irrelevant. So if you do the survey, back to the survey, right? If you do the survey and you say, oh, I'm neutral, that survey is not useful, to be honest. And I show you later why it's not useful. So either you don't care, because you don't care, you put like neutral. Or actually it's not relevant. So let's say if this is a review about food, right? And my feedback is that, okay, the weather is hot. So it cannot be marked to negative or positive. So here this statement is neutral for the review on food. But is a positive or negative? It depend on the it's too hot. Okay, it's negative for the temperature. Okay, so the true neutrality is very rare. Okay, so this is why when you do the survey next time, if your best friend ask you to do the survey for their thesis, try not to select anything neutral. You are not supporting them, okay? You just giving them nightmare, because I got a lot of survey, but none of them are useful. So this is the first thing. You want to see whether it's neutral or it's negative. The second thing, yes, the insight. What are the topics? What are the feedback? So one of the easy way for you to do is to do the work plan. Similar to our how are you today? So a lot of people feel tired, so the tired gonna be bigger. And a lot of people say, okay, I'm happy, the happy gonna be bigger. But the work plan, if you do not know the technique, it's gonna be very tricky. Why? If you pass the whole review into the work cloud generator, a lot of them online, it's very easy to do. You just search for work cloud generator and you can paste anything and it create a work cloud for you. But if you don't know how to clean the data, it's gonna be tricky. So let's say I ask you, how are you today? Someone say, I'm good. Someone say, not bad. Someone say, not good. Yeah. Because we break it down into the word, then the word now gonna look like this. Not good, bad, okay. So you don't know what is the real inside, right? Because it's broken down into smaller words. So you need to extract the keyword or the aspect that's a value for the inside. So it should be not bad together or not good together. But it's not easy for you to do manually. Because like sometimes people say, this is lovely, but okay, this is lovely, but okay, then you need to manually map that. So that's a few challenge. But anyway, let's take a look at the word cloud. This is a good visualization when you want to highlight the feedback, the inside with the magnitude. Okay? So that's the second thing. Move on. Yes, this is something you should consider when doing sentiment analysis. That is the net sentiment score. Okay? How you can calculate this score? You can see right here. We got the positive percentage, we got the negative, and then we minus down and we divide by the total score. This is why I told you the neutral doesn't mean anything, because there is no neutral in this formula. So if your customer say they are all neutral with the brand, your sentiment score may be not that high. Yeah, so you see the neutral score not appear here. So the neutral don't take a lot of value in the sentiment. Because you want to see what people like, so you do more. What people don't like, so you fix it. Let's say, oh, actually, I'm okay. Okay, I'm okay. There's nothing you can do. Okay, so that's the situation. So you can get the sentiment score. This is what you apply for the final project. But then how can you get a sentiment score? That's a good question. You need to understand and you need to get the value of every review so you can aggregate. Okay, now we come to the last part, right? Okay, we are marketing people, we are smart and we are lazy. So we try to be efficient. We don't want to do a lot of things, okay? So now let's use AI to help you to do the sentiment analysis. And you know when it comes to AI, it's all about prompting, okay? So let me just share with you the prompt. Some of you may know how to prompt, and my prompt here is quite basic. So you can improve that. So let's go step by step. First thing, the first step for your sentiment analysis using AI is that you need to define the role for AI. Yeah. So in my prompt, remember my prompt is just a suggestion for you, so you can apply. You can say that the AI you are using Gemini, for example, as the research, the professional analyst in customer sentiment research, and then you should give it a little bit background. So let's say I do not do the singer Beautiful anymore, but now I do the singer of Phùng Khánh Linh. Okay, so they know a little bit. So this is the first part of the prompt. The second part, you need to define the format of the response. This is something maybe new to you, because if you don't define the format, it may be hard for you to extract it later. Okay? So if you remember the table I shared with you, this is similar. This is the original comment to make sure that you got the right information, right? You got the topic. The topic is similar to the aspect. And you got the keyword. So you know what kind of information people are talking about. You got the overall sentiment. And then I input something new, the sentiment score. Why do I want the sentiment score and what does it mean? I explain in the next slide, but here, a few things. The problem with sentiment analysis as a whole is that it do not give you the magnitude. What does it mean? Which means when people say, okay, are you positive? the sentiment or negative? You don't know the magnitude. They are happy, but they are slightly happy, or they are extremely happy. It do not give you the insight. If you just say positive or negative. Same thing for customer. They may say, it's okay. I mean, not very good, but still okay. It's very different, bro. It's totally a nightmare. I don't like it. This is a terrible experience. Yeah. So this is why I input the sentiment score. So we can do a little bit scoring to see whether it's a serious issue or it's just a small one. So this is where you define the response format of AI so you can work further. Next step, we're gonna work on the parameter definition. What does it mean? If you give AI the information you want, you need to define every parameter. What kind of information you need so it can return to you exactly what you want. So here you say I define for you, right? And you can change this based on your need for the sentiment analysis. So let's say for the topic, I ask AI to get the overall topic that is maximum 3 keywords. And because Tung-Linh and Bích Phương is a singer, so I give the example about the music, the visual, something. Okay, the guideline for it. The keyword here, you will need to fine tune the keyword a little bit because depending on the topic, the keyword may not be relevant. So usually the keyword gonna be noun and adjective, which means like the singer is beautiful, the lyrics is very nice, the music is catchy. Okay, so usually it's a noun and an adjective, but you can tweak it a little bit depending on what kind of information you have. It's all about customization. If you know well about your comment, about the feedback, you can customize this and it gives a better result. Okay. Overall sentiment is clear, right? Whether it's positive, negative, or neutral. But again, it's very hard to achieve the true neutrality. And last but not least, sentiment score. This is something help you to identify the magnitude. Okay. So either for me, I put that it ranging from -1 to 1, which means that very, very negative to very positive. And 0 is the neutral value. So when you define everything like this, it's gonna be clear. And probably you can get a good result from AI without you need to stretch out your brain to read through on the feedback and comment. Okay? And that's it. So there are three important parts. Now we can put everything together to get a simple prompt like this. And when your team working on this, you can always improve that and fine tune in it. Okay. So let's see. It's on e-learning, so you can download it. So now let me try, right? Let me try apply this for the comment I just get from the singer Tung-Linh to see whether it's correct or not. Okay.